As always, we won't recap the show, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, Damian Priest is number 1. Damian Priest is the new number 1 contender for Gunther's World Heavyweight Championship, and while the win wasn't a shocker, the match was plenty of fun with Priest, Seth Rollins, Dominic Mysterio, and Sheamus working hard to entertain the fans. Bronson Reed's interference and assault on Rollins was also an added bonus. Number 2, the build-up for the Bloodline reunion continues. As the WWE showed more storytelling savvy last night by bringing crowd favorite Sami Zayn and the Usos together to build to the next segment in the story that presumably will lead to Roman Reigns, the Usos, and Sami Zayn battling Solo Sikoa's Bloodline at Survivor Series War Games. This segment forwarded the storyline, gave fans an actual reason to tune into SmackDown as Sami meets with Roman. Number 3, Bronson Reed Seth Rollins not over yet. Now apparently Bronson Reed didn't take Seth Rollins' post-victory statement at Crown Jewel to heart. Although Rollins taunted Reed after beating him at Crown Jewel and warned him he'd always beat the burly brawler, Reed attacked the Visionary last night during the main event, which means Rollins vs. Reed Part 2 is happening. It also means that Reed has new enemies because Damian Priest addressed Reed's attack on him during the match, promising consequences for the Australian juggernaut. Number 4, Dominic is such a heat magnet. Dominic Mysterio is a heat magnet extraordinaire, and it's time for the WWE to take things further. The WWE needs to start putting up a graphic that measures a fans' boos when Dominic Mysterio comes out. They measured fans' reactions at PLEs, and this seemed like a clever way to further the WWE Universe's animosity toward Dirty Dom. Number 5, War Raiders push continues. Now the War Raiders scored another impressive win, despite Eric and Ivar battling a New Day team with internal conflict, and Raiders fans can only hope that the push continues. This team has a great look and features 2 big men who can move around the ring with incredible agility and speed. Number 6, the New Day are done. Or are they? Has the New Day finally reached the point of no return? Kofi Kingston's power of positivity seems to have no effect on Xavier Woods' bitterness, and it looks like the longtime tag team is headed for a split, which would be tragic as the WWE is prepping a special episode of Raw to mark the group's 10th anniversary. However, this could be a major swerve that sees Woods come to his senses, with some fans hoping Biggie arrives to save the day and make the WWE's longest-running tag team stronger than ever. And another creepy Wyatt segment. While last night's Wyatt 6 segment would have been better had it aired before Halloween, it was still chilling as The Miz was held captive by the group and subjected to his usual mind games. The WWE is a fantastic opportunity to take The Miz in a new direction with this angle, especially if he becomes the group's latest member. That was good. What about the bad? Is number 1, women's title gets shortchanged again. What happened to the WWE making its talent fight for title shots? Fans recently saw a series of matches to crown the number 1 contenders for the WWE Tag Championship on SmackDown, so why did the WWE's female talent fight in a battle royal for a shot against the women's world champion Liv Morgan? Battle royals are a cheap way to find a new contender and reminiscent of Vince McMahon's booking. Number 2, a 60-second heel turn. Triple H has dropped the ball on the Jade Cargill-Bianca Belair heel turn by rushing it. While the universe has theorized that the two would split at some point, everything has been rainbows and sunshines between the two until the announcers hinted at dissension at Crown Jewel, despite the tag champs winning the match like a well-oiled machine that they are. Having Liv Morgan trying to stir the pot is fine, but this feels far too rushed, a notable departure from the WWE's typical policy of letting storylines play out, that is, except in the women's division. And fake it till you make it, Rhea Ripley edition. The WWE's pitiful attempt at giving Raquel Rodriguez a makeover as the Judgment Day's new version of Rhea Ripley has reached a new level of epic fail. While the WWE hasn't given Raquel the Rhea makeup treatment, everything else about her screams at the WWE trying to repackage Raquel in Rhea's image. The actual failure here is that Raquel makes a good heel, and a heel turn attacking Ripley due to the Eradicator taking Liv Morgan out due to their babyface run makes sense. Rodriguez needs a new look that allows her to fail or succeed independently rather than slipping into a fake Razor Ramon and Diesel territory. That was nothing downright ugly, as this was a solid follow-up show from a PLE, particularly for a taped show. The WWE used short segments to keep storylines moving, including Karrion Kross and Bron Breakker, a further example of its time management mastery. What do you guys think of Raw last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Now, our first story looks at Jacob Fatu apologizes. At top of today's news is a follow-up on yesterday's report that WWE superstar Jacob Fatu was scheduled to appear for the charity Jake's Network of Hope, but allegedly ghosted the group and failed to repay them the money that they fronted up for his appearance. And now Sports Illustrated is reporting the takedown on SI reached out to Jake Networks of Hope to ask for an update on the situation. Director of Development Jane Harper responded with an official statement. Jacob Fatu and our organization are addressing this matter privately, beginning with a phone call and a heartfelt apology back in May. While the full amount owed hasn't been repaid, we appreciate Jacob's acknowledgement. It can be tough to face up to your wrongdoings, and we commend him for taking steps towards confronting it. Something that wasn't noted in the recent stories, that 2023 NBC News story reported that this isn't the only time this has allegedly happened with Fatu and a charity. Last June, NBC 26 aired Jonah's story during a broadcast and subsequently posted the video on YouTube. According to NBC, Jonah intended to stay silent on the issue but was compelled to speak up after learning other organizations had a similar experience with Fatu. Dr. Chris Featherstone recently tweeted about the WWE's knowledge of the situation. "I've been told within WWE that they are currently investigating the resurfaced reports of Jacob Fatu ghosting a charity event." Next up, WWE rejected Becky Lynch. Now it's time to look at a wild rumor concerning Becky Lynch's decision to let her WWE contract lapse because the WWE refused to pay an alleged $2 million a year asking price. The rumor apparently stated that former WWE personality Jonathan Coachman discussed Lynch on his Patreon backstage pass, hinting that Lynch asked for a $2 million a year contract only for WWE to pass. However, Fightful Select reports that is inaccurate. We're told that Becky Lynch and WWE are still on good terms, and WWE was respecting Lynch's decision to take time off. Those we spoke to in WWE claimed that if Lynch wanted to sign a deal before her absence, they likely would have done that. As for the $2 million figure, Fightful added the $2 million number was outright denied by everyone who would know it. Lynch didn't ask for that amount, and we're told that WWE would have jumped at that number if she did. Fightful described the amount top stars in AEW and the WWE receive. The general pay scale for talent at the top or near the top of WWE and AEW are both well beyond that amount now. Lynch's contract will be well beyond $2 million a year. As we'll see in our next story, Becky's absence has led to other speculation, including whether she has retired. Now, a recent comment from WWE personality Sam Roberts might be taken as evidence. During a discussion of the Judgment Day on his Not Sam Wrestling podcast, Roberts noted, "You can say whatever you want about this Judgment Day and they do whatever they're supposed to do and when they're supposed to do it every time. Who retired Becky Lynch? Who beat Rhea Ripley for the Women's Championship? And everybody's falling in line." While it's possible that Becky has retired, we believe Roberts' comments should be taken as kayfabe to hype the Judgment Day. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, a WWE Superstar's release was not planned. Was the WWE's decision not to renew Baron Corbin's contract a last-minute decision? Our fans are asking this after a Fightful Select report mentioned that Corbin was one of the several Raw and SmackDown superstars who appeared at the 27th October video shoot for a Netflix commercial hyping Raw's debut. While this is speculation, it kind of makes sense. Furthermore, it invites further discussion about whether Indy Hartwell was a last-minute decision as well. Hartwell, who was released on 1st November, appeared on the 1st November taped edition of SmackDown, which led to some fans wondering whether the decision to release Indy happened at the 11th hour. Next up, a WWE star out until Wrestlemania 41. That was bad news for OC fans, as Carl Anderson took to Instagram to inform fans he recently underwent surgery. "Thanks to Dr. Dugas in Birmingham, Alabama for fixing me. See you after Wrestlemania. I will send our best to Carl Anderson for a fast and full recovery." And finally, is Kevin Nash returning to WWE? Last but not least, could Kevin Nash show up in NXT? During an episode of his Click This podcast, the two-time Hall of Famer discussed rumors that he would be appearing on the 6th November's NXT. Nash dismissed the rumors but told fans, "I think I'm going in December. I think like December. Nothing is official yet and it's unclear whether he'll make an on-air appearance if he does show up."